Hey MINIMA backers, it's nice to finally meet you. To introduce myself, my name's Sean, and I created the MINIMA wallet. I'm the designer, creator, transporter, fulfillment officer, really one guy who's involved in carrying out the entire project. And I couldn't be more happy with the way that the wallets turned out. And I'm going to give you a look at them in a second. But wanted to give you some more background and kind of the story and what the plans are with MINIMA. I started becoming interested in in minimalist wallets years ago, and I just started making my own. This is actually one of my first wallets that I made. It's like MINIMA prototype, if you will. It's made out of leather. It's got an elastic strap on the front. Similar design, but the problem with this one is we tried to mass produce it, but it only fits a fixed number of cards. So every backer who would have to decide how many cards they wanted, and then would have to maintain that number of cards throughout the life of their wallet, which I thought would be ridiculous. Obviously, you can't sell that to a bunch of people. So we came up with this other design that the MINIMA wallet, a few design steps later, and it's just been perfect. I've been using MINIMA 2.0, the full version, for 6 months to a year now, and I love it. It's been the greatest wallet I've ever had. Everybody asks me about it every time I pull it out, and I'll never go back to anything else. So for the last 3 nights, I've had pretty much sleepless nights, getting everything ready and prepared to ship out. We've had everything anodized, engraved, sewn. The process took longer than expected because we were originally only using 4 manufacturers, and we had to actually bring a 5th into the picture. 4 was already a lot, and then a 5th just made it even more cumbersome. We had to use what's called a time-saving machine, a time saver, and it's basically like a wood planer, except for metals. You run it through this machine, and it creates a grain on one side and finishes it so that it's perfectly smooth and that there's no imperfections, no scratches, things like that. And it really made for a beautiful finish on every single wallet, and I'm glad we took the extra time to actually do that, because the result is absolutely beautiful. But it obviously caused us to ship a little later than we had hoped. But still before Christmas, as promised. These wallets are being shipped out tomorrow morning. So that's December 22nd in the USA. They'll be shipped out. So some domestic backers will be getting theirs by Christmas if they're local. And most will probably be getting them the day after, 2 days after. International backers, there's no way you're going to get yours by Christmas, and I apologize for that. But they are shipped before Christmas, which is what our original promise was. And I wanted to be sure I stuck to that. And I wanted to record this as a Christmas present so that you guys could see your wallets and get to have a glimpse of what it's going to be like to use it. So, without further ado, I want to show you some of your wallets. Let's see. Here is a beautiful, beautiful blue anodized aluminum. And wow, these just turned out so amazing. I couldn't be happier with the result. We took that extra step and took them to a planer to have each side ground down, and they just turned out absolutely incredibly. They're just beautiful, and they're going to look incredible. We did the custom engraving, which, I hope this backer doesn't mind. That doesn't appear that there's anything confidential on this engraving, but it just looks so beautiful. This is a black aluminum wallet with custom engraving, and it turned out absolutely amazing. And then you'll see the backer number behind the cash strap here, and that's on many of the wallets. A large majority of the wallets have that. The stainless steel turned out just incredible. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the grain that was added from the planing process. and they're just they're everyone going through the manufacturers. Everyone was freaking out. There's a slate one with custom engraving as well, so a little bit lighter than the black. And then we have, let's see, we've got our orange here. Those are crazy. They turned out awesome. People have a love-hate relationship with this one. And then, of course, there's the 24 karat gold, which is actually being sewn as we speak. It's midnight here in Utah, and at 6 a.m. the sewers are waking up extra early to finish our batch. So the gold ones will be thrown in last of all because there was just a few people that opted to upgrade to the 24 karat gold, and those are incredible. If you made that upgrade, they turned out way better than I could even imagine, way better than our first samples were. So there's a lot of wallets that are just elastic that wrap around cards, and those, it's easy to stretch the elastic to fit them around the arm of a sewing machine. This shape and having this rigidity of the metal here makes it impossible, unless you somehow slip on an elastic band that was pre-sewn afterwards, impossible to sew in a perfect loop. And so what you have to do is feed the elastic through, and we did that all by hand, and then you have to take the elastic bunched up on the outside, sew it in there. If you look now, we've got the seam of the wallet which was, this side is seamless, this side has the seam where it's sewn, and it's now kind of on the back corner, and it doesn't aesthetically make a big difference at all. It's just sitting there on the outside. And here's one that we've gone ahead and fed through. One of your backer wallets, we're testing them for you. Here's one we've gone ahead and fed through the seam on the inside, and you can see not much difference, just that one seam is now in a different spot. So clean edges on both sides rather than a clean edge and a seam that's visible. And really it's up to you. It's easy to feed through. Let's take a look at how to actually feed that through now. Okay, I'm going to use this blue anodized MINIMA to show you guys exactly how to feed the end seam through your wallet. Like I said, it takes a few minutes, so I'll probably put this in fast forward. But the process is relatively simple. You want to get this seam from the outside here through these two holes in your MINIMA to the inside of the wallet in here, so that the seam is hidden. Or you can leave it on the outside. Personally, it doesn't make much of a difference in the way that it looks, but I like it, just the seamless look all around. Take the seam into the inside, so I've done this with my own, but you can choose to leave it on the outside as well. So the process is pretty simple. You create slack behind the seam by pulling the band on the back. You feed that slack through the holes, and then you go ahead and push the seam through the holes to the other side. So now you'll see we have the seam. It's come from the side over to the front face of the wallet, so we got it through the first hole there, and now we're going to do the same thing to get it through the second.
And then once you've got the seam of the wallet past the second hole, what you'll do is you'll put your hand on the elastic on the back and then slide your hand inside, get your hand on that elastic, and you can move your hands in opposite directions, and that'll move that seam around on the inside to adjust exactly where you want it. And there you go. No seam on either side. And it's that simple. It took me about 3 minutes to get it done. And that'll give you the seamless look with your MINIMA wallet forever.